It had been 6 weeks since Arjun arrived in Toronto, and although he had already gotten used to the subway system, ordered food in English many times, and even made a few friends, there was one thing he had been putting off: getting a haircut. Back in India, he had gone to the same barber for years. He didn't need to explain anything. He'd just sit down, and the barber would nod and say, "The usual?" And Arjun would say, "Yes." Simple, comfortable, easy. But now, in a new country, in a new language, he had to explain his hairstyle, something he had never actually described before. His hair was starting to feel too long, and the sides were getting bushy. It was time. He found a local barber shop with good reviews online. Nothing fancy, just a clean, simple place a few blocks from his apartment. He walked in on a Wednesday afternoon and was greeted by a young man with a friendly smile. "Hey, you got an appointment?" "No." "Walk in, if that's okay." "Totally. You're next. Just have a seat." Arjun sat down, heart beating a little faster than usual. He looked at himself in the mirror. How do I even describe this, he wondered. A few minutes later, the barber waved him over. "All right, man, what are we doing today?" Arjun smiled nervously. I'd like a trim shorter on the sides, but not too short. And a little shorter on top, too, but keep the shape." "Cool, got it. Like a fade on the sides, or just tapered?" Arjun blinked. "Fade? Tapered?" "I'm not sure. What's the difference?" The barber explained patiently. "A fade is when it goes really short near the bottom and blends into longer hair. A taper is more natural, less contrast." Arjun nodded slowly. "Taper sounds good. I don't want it too short." "You got it. And how about the top? Just taking a little off?" "Yes, I still want to comb it to the side, maybe just half an inch off." "Perfect. I'll show you with the mirror once I start." As the haircut began, Arjun started to relax. The buzzing of the clippers, the light conversation, the scent of shampoo in the air, it all felt familiar, even in English. The barber asked, "So, what brings you to Toronto?" "Grad school. I'm doing a master's in data science." "Nice. How do you like it so far?" "It's good. Cold, but good." They both laughed. Halfway through, the barber paused and showed Arjun the mirror. "What do you think? This much off okay?" "Yes, that's great. Maybe just a little shorter on the left?" "No problem." A few minutes later, the barber added some product. "Want me to style it for you?" "Sure, why not?" He showed Arjun how to comb it for volume and suggested a light wax. "You can use just a little. Don't overdo it. This gives it a natural look." "Thanks, that looks really good." After the cut, Arjun stood up, brushed hair off his shirt, and looked in the mirror. He felt like himself again, neater, sharper, a little more confident. "How much do I owe you?" "That's 20. Card okay?" "Yep, tap here." He paid, added a small tip, and said, "Thanks again, great job." "No problem, man. Come back any time." On the way home, Arjun opened the Notes app on his phone and wrote down some phrases he wanted to remember. "I'd like a trim. Shorter on the sides. Keep the top a bit longer. Just a little off the back. I don't want it too short. Can you show me with the mirror? That looks great. Thanks." He also added, "What's the difference between a fade and a taper? Can you style it with the product? I usually comb it to the side." He smiled. The next time he needed a haircut, he'd be ready and even more confident. Getting a haircut in English may seem like a small thing, but it's a real-life situation full of useful, practical language. You're not just learning vocabulary, you're learning how to express yourself, your style, your preferences. Don't worry about using technical terms. Use clear, simple language. Bring a photo if you're not sure. And remember, barbers and stylists are used to all kinds of customers. They'll help you. Here are a few phrases to practice. Can you take a little off the top? Not too short, please. Can you keep it natural looking? Just clean up the sides. Do you have time for a walk-in? What kind of product do you recommend? Practice out loud, try different styles, and soon it will feel completely natural. Thank you for practicing with me today. See you in the next lesson.